A woman sat in her car in a parking lot for 45 minutes. Not because she was waiting for someone. Not because she was on a call. Because she didn't know how to go inside her own house and face the silence. Her mind was so full. Her schedule was so packed. Her soul was so loud. The idea of stillness felt like a threat. And here's the thing. She called herself a Christian. She prayed. She went to church. She read her Bible occasionally. But she had never once in her adult life sat in genuine stillness before God. Not for 5 minutes. Not even for 2. She is not alone. And she might be you. Most Christians treat stillness like a luxury. Something for monks and retirees. Something that sounds nice on a journal cover but has no place in a real life with real pressure and real demands. And because of that, most Christians are carrying a level of spiritual noise that is drowning out the very voice they are praying to hear. Psalm 46 verse 10 is one of the most quoted verses in all of Scripture. Be still and know that I am God. But here is what most people miss. This verse was not written during a calm season. It was written in the middle of chaos. The psalm begins with earthquakes and roaring seas and nations in uproar. And right in the middle of all of that, God says be still. Not be still when life comes down. Be still right now. In the middle of this. So what does it actually mean to be still? Because most people hear that and immediately think it means do nothing. Sit quietly. Think peaceful thoughts. And within 30 seconds their mind is running through their grocery list and replaying that conversation from Tuesday. That is not biblical stillness. That is just silence with an anxious mind inside it. Biblical stillness is not the absence of noise. It is the presence of God. It is an act of the will, a deliberate decision to stop driving, stop striving, stop performing, and simply be before the one who already knows everything you are carrying. Psalm 46 verse 10 in the original Hebrew uses the word raphah, which means to sink down, to relax, to let go of what you are gripping. It is the posture of a person who has decided to stop holding everything together and let God be God. That is what stillness is. And that is why it is so hard for most people. Because letting go feels like losing control. And losing control feels like danger. When actually, it is the safest thing you will ever do. Here is how you actually practice it. Not theory. Practical steps. Step 1. Schedule it like an appointment. Stillness will not happen accidentally in your life. The world is designed to fill every gap of silence with noise. If you do not protect the time for stillness, the time will not exist. 5 minutes. Same time every day. Before your phone. Before the news. Before anyone else's voice gets access to you. Step 2. Start with one sentence. When you sit down, don't try to empty your mind, that is impossible and frustrating. Instead, speak one sentence out loud to God. Something like, Lord, I am here. I am not running. I am not performing. I am just here. That sentence is not a prayer for something. It is an arrival. You are telling your spirit where you are and who you are with. Step 3. Let the silence be the conversation. Most people sit in stillness and feel like nothing is happening because they don't hear an audible voice. But Elijah didn't either, at first. In 1 Kings 19 verse 12, after the earthquake and the fire and the wind, God spoke to Elijah in a still small voice. A gentle whisper. And the only way Elijah heard it was because he had stopped making enough noise to drown it out. You don't need to hear words. Sometimes what God gives you in stillness is a peace that wasn't there when you sat down. A thought that shifts something. A release of something you've been gripping. That is God. That is the conversation. Here is why this matters more than most Christians realize. Psalm 23 verse 2 says, He makes me lie down in green pastures, He leads me beside quiet waters, He restores my soul. Notice the order. He makes me lie down first. The restoration comes after the stillness. Not before. Not during your busyness. After. Your soul cannot be restored at full speed. You were not designed to run without stopping. And every season of spiritual dryness, every season of feeling disconnected from God, every season of praying and feeling like the ceiling is made of concrete, most of those seasons have one thing in common. The person stopped being still. So here is your challenge. Tomorrow. 5 minutes. No phone. No music. No podcast. Just you and God and the silence He has been waiting to fill. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to feel spiritual. You just have to show up and be still. And let the God who spoke galaxies into existence speak into the quiet of your life. He is not far. He is not silent. He has just been waiting for you to stop long enough to hear Him. Be still. And know. If this is what you needed today, share this video with someone whose soul needs to breathe. Click the like button and subscribe to Unconquered Scripture for more scripture-based content that actually strengthens your faith without the fluff.